Should antitrust laws be strengthened in the digital economy? Hi everyone, today I'd like to discuss one of the most important issues in modern economics and competition law. Should governments strengthen antitrust laws to regulate large technology companies? For much of the 20th century, antitrust law focused primarily on price. If a company used its market power to raise prices and reduce consumer welfare, governments intervened to restore competition. However, the digital economy has challenged this traditional approach. Many of the world's largest technology companies offer services that appear to be free. Consumers pay no money to use search engines, social media platforms, or online maps. If prices are zero, can these companies still possess excessive market power? Supporters of stronger antitrust enforcement argue that they can. Digital platforms often benefit from network effects. The more users a platform attracts, the more valuable it becomes to new users. As a result, dominant firms can become even more dominant over time, making it extremely difficult for competitors to enter the market. This dynamic may reduce innovation by discouraging new firms from challenging established platforms. Another concern involves data. In the digital economy, personal data has become one of the most valuable economic resources. Large technology companies collect enormous amounts of information about consumer behavior, preferences, and purchasing patterns. Access to this data provides a significant competitive advantage that similar firms cannot easily replicate. Consequently, market power may increasingly depend not on physical assets but on control over information. Supporters also argue that dominant firms frequently acquire emerging competitors before they become genuine threats. Rather than competing through innovation, large firms may preserve their market position through strategic acquisitions. Over time, this practice could weaken competition and reduce technological progress. However, critics caution against excessive government intervention. Large technology companies often achieve their positions because they provide products that consumers genuinely value. Their enormous scale allows them to invest heavily in research and development, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. Breaking these firms into smaller companies may reduce efficiency, increase costs, and slow innovation. Critics also point out that digital markets evolve rapidly. Today's dominant company may quickly lose its position if consumers adopt superior technologies. History provides several examples of once powerful technology firms that later declined because of innovation rather than government regulation. In my opinion, competition remains essential for long-term innovation. However, antitrust policy should evolve alongside technological change. Rather than focusing exclusively on prices, regulators should also examine control over data, barriers to market entry, and the effects of acquisitions on future competition. The objective should not be to punish successful companies. Instead, it should be to preserve competitive markets that encourage continuous innovation and protect consumer choice. Ultimately, the digital economy requires a broader understanding of market power. Competition law should continue protecting consumers, but it must also ensure that tomorrow's innovators have a genuine opportunity to challenge today's market leaders. So here's my question for you. Should governments intervene more aggressively to limit the power of large technology companies, or should market competition be allowed to regulate the digital economy naturally? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for listening. See you next time.